You hit me.
Okay. So we're up to page Gimel on my Sefer Chofetz Chaim. Do you have the Chofetz Chaim that's broken up? Yeah, we have the same thing, right?
Yeah, it says Beis Tishrei.
Okay. Right. Let's make believe it's Beis Tishrei. Rosh Hashanah. Okay. Maybe not. He says, we do some spiritual inventory. Which are some of the key Averas that have been the cause for our Gullus being so long? And say no habe. The list is long. HaLashon or HaKulai. Says, but the Avera of speaking, Lashon is tops them all. And they come at them for a few reasons. Echad, number one, came to Zoya Iker the Sibas Golusain. First of all, because, as he said earlier, quoted from the Gemara in Shalmi and Yuma, it was the cause. It was the main cause for the Golus in the first place. In Cain. So if so, as long as we don't take the steps to correct that, so how could there be a gula? The cause of the Golus is here. Since the Savera made such a gam, that most of that, we went out of Eretz Yisrael, so certainly it's not going to let us in. Let us back. But another reason, Chazal tell us that the Golus was decreed already from the time of the Meraglim, as it says in Tehillim, Vayisa Yodei Lem La'afir Loisam V'Goymer V'Goyim Uzroisam Ba'rotzos. Right? Atem Bechisem B'Chiyah Shalchinam. So in the future, you're going to have reason to cry. Tisha B'Av. Once you pay Rashi Shon B'Ramban B'Chumash Pasha Shlach, B'Chet HaMeraglim Lo Yavar Lashon Hara. The Avera of the Meraglim was that they spoke Lashon Hara, K'medisa Ba'arachin. In Cain, so if the roots of it all is in Lashon Hara, and so that has to be corrected. And it says we find it also written explicitly. We find that this is an Avera that causes Israel to be subjugated before it. As it says in the Chumash, when he saw the two Jews, Dosan and Aviram, right? Is that what it was? Fighting. And when he chastised them, Rosh Shalom Sakreacha, so they said, oh, are you going to kill us like you killed the Mitzri? And there Moshe Rabbeinu says, oh, now I know. Rashi says that Moshe Rabbeinu was looking for the cause of the Golus. He says, now, if there are Jews who speak Lashon Hara, then I understand why we're in Golus. It says explicitly in the Pasha, in the Medrash Rabbah, in this world, being that there was Lashon Hara amongst you, I removed my Shekhinah explicitly because of Lashon Hara. I will also love in the future, whatever the Medrash ends up, I guess there won't be Lashon Hara. The Yachtus. Void Mikum Forish Pashas Bracha and Zayisa Bracha. V'hi Shurun Melech, the Pasuk says, and it'll be Shurun Melech, and there's a king in Shurun, V's'aseh Roshe Am. When the nation, the heads of the nation gather, Yachad together, Shiftei Yisrael, that the Shvatim are together, Perish Rashi Sham. Rashi explains they're based on the Sifri, She'ema Sa'ihu, Melech Yishurun, when is it that Hashem is the king in Yeshurun, which is, I guess, synonym for Klal Yisrael, Davka K'shehem B'yachad Shiftei Yisrael, specifically when they're together, V'lay Agudus Agudus, and not separate groups. What makes a group splinter into different groups, it's Lashon Hara. Ulevadze, further says the Chok.
But is it
Yeah.
really just I mean, you have Litvish, you have Chassidim, and even amongst the Chassidim, you have different groups. You have the National Religious Party in Israel, right? You have I don't forget their name, the Dati Leumi group.
Yeah.
You have different segments, but it's not necessarily based on Lashon Hara. I mean,
It's different hashkafas, you're saying.
yeah.
But when you do have a group that splinters, maybe not, you're saying maybe not always, but speaking bad about each other is certainly going to cause that to happen. I hear you're saying it's not always so. Okay?
Right. I mean, even in a shul, there are groups. I
Chaim
mean, in a
just said it's
shul, I could
rogel.
hear there's Lashon Hara, there's more, but
Look, Chaim didn't say that. He said that was a rogel love. It's common. It happens regularly that if there's Lashon Hara amongst them, then it creates period. That's what he's saying. Right? He's not saying that every period is based on Lashon Hara. He's just saying that Lashon Hara is a prime cause for period.
uh-huh. Okay.
Well, besides that, how can we expect that the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to come upon us? That's what we look forward to. If through our averis on a we're so accustomed to this avera, the Maisa, he says in the Varim, in what's it, the Kisava, Seite, right? There's a list of arurim, and one of them is explicitly Oru Makareyev Basos. Cursed is the one who hits his fellow Jew in a hidden fashion. Shukai, and that Oru, what's it referring to? It's not referring to you catch a guy in a dark alley and you beat him up. HaLashon Hara, K'mo Shapir's Rashi Shamash says that's what it means. When you speak Lashon Hara, you do it behind the guy's back and you're hitting him with a batshah, and that's an explicit Hara. Besides the other room, soon after Aktama, he has the Psicha, and there he lists all the mitzvahs says and all the losa says that you transgress along with Lashon Hara, and there he'll discuss the different oros that also apply, besides this one that's explicitly so. Ulavadza, besides that, how do you do it with Gemara, the Arak in the Gemara that says Hanal, the Gemara above, Shagoyda Oven is who in Shir, the Sabera, there's no sheer, there's no end to how great of a sin it is. Hachamar love Kaifer Beikar. Sent that the Chazal said that he's called Kaifer Beikar, denying Hashem Chas v'Shalom. Rabbi Shami the Peya, the Gemara there says, in the frame and other Mafuzoilam, Oven Boilam Hazeh, that this Avera you're punished for in this world, Vakan Kem Salam Haba, and the Avera itself is waiting for you in Elam Haba, where you're punished there also. Va'ayin Lakamon Psicha says, look further in the Psicha, we'll get there. It's Hashem. With Sifri, Shmiras HaLashon, and my Sefer Shmiras HaLashon. Shamet Taknu Kol Mamori Hashas and Shmiras HaLashon. He wrote over all the statements in the Gemara of Amidrashim, Vazor HaKadosh, and Eskrem Binyan that deal with Lashon Hara. Mishayin is fun and hated by him. Anyone who learns that, Ve'iyum, Timsar Saris Rosh, his hair will stand on his head and go to oven from how serious of an Avera, in fact, it is. Yeah? You want to get the recording back on? Okay, so now we're up to, in the second part of the Sefer, again, based Tishrei, it's called. Umizeh Yuchal Esponin Kaladim, he continues in Shmiras HaLashon and says, from this, every person can understand he was discussing how there's the parallel of the different of the physical body to the spiritual body, right? Which is a parallel to the different mitzvos, the Ramach Evarim, Shasa Gidim, and Ramach Mitzvahs. They says extra tzarich liyoy b'chol hatayim mitzvahs, so you could see how important it is to be careful with all the mitzvahs, b'chol koychoy b'mei chayav, with all your abilities while you're alive. And no one wants to even be a cripple and missing a little finger. Right, everybody, you want to be shalom. Because it's the mitzvahs that bring the life energy, lenetzach, for eternity, gidei nafshay, to the environment, the gidim of his nefesh. It says there, Shmatem is chukois heves mishpatais. You'll keep my chukim mishpatim asher yasa oisam odam, that a person does v'chai b'hem, and you'll live bohem. And he's medayik. You'll live because of them. But bohem, they are the life source. That's the teacher. That the light of the mitzvah is the life source in the future. Where did this bracket start from? Just like everyone wants to be physically in this world complete, doesn't want to have any type of aver that doesn't work well. Even in the smallest of the avarim, we're proper in Shmiras HaLashon. He says, so certainly when it comes to Shmiras HaLashon, the miyatir chas v'shalom l'nafshir is mikat misapre lashon arba l'mazeh. If you allow yourself to be from the kat, and he differentiates along the way. There's a difference between someone who's a Baal Lashon Hara, that he speaks Lashon Hara freely, he's not nizar in it, and someone who he stumbles. Is nizar in the mitzvah, but he stumbled, like we stumble in other. It doesn't make us a Baal Lashon Hara. If that's for somebody treif, it doesn't make him a Baal treif, unless he's someone who. So there's a thing called Tat Mitzapri Lashon Hara that you discussed. You're part of the group. You're signed in to be from those who speak Lashon Hara. So he says that if a person allows himself to speak that.
So is a member of the Kat a Baal Lashon Hara, or that's just someone who makes a slip?
No. Kat Mitzapri Lashon Hara, those that that's their they speak freely. Right? They speak Lashon Hara freely. They're not nizar in this Avera.
Okay.
Again, in Baruch Hashem, we're grown in after the Chavetz Chaim has raised the awareness of this Avera. Unbelievable. It seems from what you hear, that when he sat down to write the Sefer, it was totally, people just spoke. There was no Shulchan Aruch about this. There was no Sefer about it. And people spoke Lashon Hara much freelier. And he created a revival. Okay, but he says
a revolution. It was a revolution. It wasn't
right. That's right. It says if someone speaks Lashon Hara freely, he also listens to Lashon Hara freely, or rechilas, or the kabbalah. Right, we'll get into the halachas about Kabbalah's Lashon Hara, but someone who's not careful about this and he freely speaks Lashon Hara, he also freely listens to Lashon Hara, and he freely is makabelet. And in order that if he's a Baal Lashon Hara, so he needs what to speak about, right? That's how those who are hoylech rochel do. They go. They pick up the news, the raid, as they say. So they could sell their wares. Azu, this wares this in another place. Rochel is really someone who is a peddler, right? And the peddler buys stuff in one place. He travels around, picks up stuff, and then he travels and sells it. The Baal Lashon Hara and the Baal Rechilas, that's really what Rechilas is. Hoylech Rochel uses the expression in the pasuk of Hoylech Rochel, that he does that. Keeps his ears open, picks up information, and then he peddles it. Kamaidi Isa, it tells Kanan Perish Rashi, but how much in Cain. She says, so based on what we said before, such a person, Yikalka B'chayev, so during his lifestyle, he's going to ruin his Chush HaDibur, his speech, Chush HaShmiya, and his sense of hearing, which means, so in the future, those two senses, speech and hearing, are going to be punished, they're going to be ruined.
You're talking Olam Haba. You're not talking that the Chush of Shmiyan, right? This is more of a Ruchnius kind of.
Well, look, he said that, the Averis are parallel to the limbs.
In the universe, right.
Right. So you're going to come up there and you're going to be deaf and dumb. Ruchnius what? Says, because by speaking the Lashon HaRakis, over al he was over and which is basically an avera done by the mouth. Shmiras Lashon Hara, and as far as listening to Lashon Hara, the Kabbalah and accepting what he heard, that avera, that lav, is referring to listening to Lashon Hara. If you look in the Sefer Charedim, where he categorizes the different averas and the ones that you do with your ears. So there you have listening to Lashon Hara. We'll see it when we get a little further in Sefer Chofetz Chaim. But Be'er Mayim Chaim, he writes it over there. Be'er Mayim Chaim is his parish, his own parish, on Sefer Chofetz Chaim. It's printed on the bottom. Ayin Sham V'Yadua. And we know Shehem Achushim Aroshim. These are the main senses. Shavem Toli Tzuras Ha'odom Shlei Musay, that a person, his whole definition of a person is dependent on few B'Adam Hazeh. We know Chazal tell us the Chevet Shein Shemei Beinu B'Davar. Halachically, he has the status of a Kohen and a Shaita. He's not considered a full human being. Ubababa Kama, Gemara says, if you cause someone to be deaf, no, it's not to make cool. You don't just pay for the ears, you pay for his whole value, because without the ability to hear, your whole value is worthless. So he says, certainly, if that's going to be your essence in Olam Haba, and even if you can argue and say, okay, he's not going to be totally deaf and dumb. Because on the other hand, he used it for mitzvahs also, so he won't be. Well, he'll be hard of hearing, maybe, but it won't be. They certainly won't be working right. Because he ruined them while he was alive and he didn't do tshuva. I'm going to quote here somewhere that if someone speaks Lashon Hara freely, then his Torah also. He doesn't get silent fila is not. He quotes a Zohar, a very scary Zohar. We'll get to it. But in any case, here he is indicating that you will have some of your senses because he did do Torah and mitzvahs. So he says, even anyone who understands or knows, even in this world, if a person's ability, his senses to hear and sense to speak is even, it's not flawed. Because even if he's able to hear with difficulty, but he's able to hear, he's able to speak. It's going to be anguish. He's going to have tsar his whole life. And it'll be disgraced. Let's say a person limps, it's missing a leg. It's not as degrading as not being able to speak and hear. Because these are the main senses of the person. Right now. And you won't be able to hide it. It says so much more in the next world. How much sorrow will have in Gan Eden? Everybody will know. Even if he wouldn't get punished for the Avera, But the Maisa, he's going to be flawed, and it's going to be a tremendous embarrassment. All the neshamas, everyone's going to see you spoke lashon hara. I mean, you can't speak, you can't hear. Even if he wouldn't get an einish, just that he's not capable on a ruchnis level of speaking and hearing. I'm a boishes to give that. How much embarrassed it be. Because there, it's all open. That the reason why is he not able to speak? Why is he stuttering? Why is he not able to hear? Because he was a Baal Lashon Hara Machlokes. He throws in Machlokes here also. Okay, so we'll stop here tomorrow. It's a short